belly, they'll feel horrible, the wet tyres. A very soft compound down the outside, all the way around the outside, surely not. Wow.
Fantastic. If he gets away with that because he's all up the curb and on the grass, not quite. Josh Webster goes back in front, but wow, what an attempt. And Harry King then is right on his tail. He pulled back another 8/10 last time around, and here he is then onto the tail of Josh Webster.
It's like watching a Ginetta Junior race, but with 500 horsepower GT3s, isn't
Absolutely. Harry King to the outside line. Nobody has told him you can't race a Porsche like you can a Ginetta. And please don't let him in on the secret, because it is just fantastic to watch. And Harry is such an unassuming character. I was asking him on Friday how well he'd adapted to this car and why that had become the case. I don't know really, I just suit the car. He's going up the escape road this time though, because that all got a bit leery coming down to his locks. So he'll have to slot back in behind Josh Webster, which he will do, and attack all over again. But again, he never settles for position, does he? It's attack, attack, attack all the way.
Basically, whichever part of the track that Webster's not on, he'll go on it.
It's fine.
It's as simple as that. It's not about what line he's on, just I'll go on a different part of the track.
And this is the first time Harry King has raced one of these cars in the wet, so he's learning about what they're up to in these greasy conditions. Webster defends on the inside line, so he's already tried the outside line at Old Hall. He's tried the outside effectively coming down towards his box. Can he do it again at Lodge? The answer is no, but he's right there, and he's got time left in which to make the move. So Harry King doesn't need to get too impetuous about all of this. He can perhaps bide his time and work out where it's going to come to him. The road is drying out all the time. Out of Old Hall they go. He runs a little bit wider, finds the wetter part of the road, but he also finds the dirt on the outside. But Josh Webster is under huge pressure.
He is, and you will see their hands on the wheel. They are working really, really hard. Oh, Sam McLeod is off, and that's going to be beached.
And that could be a safety car then, as King tries to make his move. Can he get to the front before the safety car boards fly? Again, outside an island bend, he looks for the undercut, but Josh Webster knows how to defend. King's car squirms underneath him as he puts down the power. Over Hilltop they come, down to his locks. He tried here a lap ago, and it didn't work. Is it going to work this time again? He hits the brakes late, and he's up the escape road for the second time.
Yeah, too much brakes on the rear. He's locking up the rears, and he literally had to come off the brakes and steer away from Webster to avoid hitting him. Safety car is out.
Right, so he can take stock, but all of these laps, remember, count within the 25 minutes. We don't add laps on in Carrera Cup like in other support championships because it's a longer time period. So what this is doing is taking laps out of the available number left to Harry King on the restart.
And the problem is that car is probably not going to be towed, it's going to be lifted, which takes longer. They're already getting the lifting straps out, so this isn't going to be quick with only 11 minutes to go.
So we've had a great battle thus far. There's more to come, but over how many laps? Let's see, we're on lap 9 of the 15, and this was one of the moments up the escape road.
You see the back end squirming. He is literally doing everything he can to avoid hitting Webster, and he did very well to do that. Give a shout out to Ryan Radcliffe, who won the Pro-Am class the first time in yesterday's race, and he's leading again today and running very well overall in 8th place in front of Mansilla, Martin, who are both pros.
Absolutely right, and the leading AM remains Lee Frost, so having taken the victory at Brands, he's leading here. Now John Ferguson can catch everybody now, and comes down towards the left and then the right to Lodge corner. He has he's done an absolute best middle sector as he plays catch up, but John Ferguson, who will go across the timing line, he did a personal best lap a lap ago. He's gone even quicker that time, a 1:33.0, but the fastest lap of anybody is a 31, so he's still not an outright pace, but you can see how much drier the road has become.
Yeah, on the last lap, he actually set the fastest middle sector. That was before he hit the safety car board. He was on the catch-up. He's now on the lap. He's been off a little bit, you can see from the grass, but he's now got the fastest car, but he's not going to have any time to do anything about it.
So down to Island Bend he comes, lap 10 we are now on. How is the clear-up operation doing? Harry King frustrated. He said earlier there was time left in which he could think about biding his time and making a move. Well, now that's been thwarted by this safety car period, and we've still not yet got everybody scooped up behind it. You see the back markers being waved through, so it's going to be at least a couple, maybe more laps before we can even think about a restart. The clear-up operation hasn't started yet, and that's cost us a lap of the race, because only now the car's getting behind the safety car. Here is the clear-up operation. So at least the snatch vehicle is there and it's on hand, and it doesn't have far to take Sam McLeod's car to get to that access point, does it?
No, the lift points are already in the car, so could be quite quick.
We're hopeful. Josh Webster, however, will be oh so keen to keep Harry King behind him. The whole story this year has been about this newcomer to the championship, and of course Josh, as a champion, as somebody that's raced in the Porsche Super Cup, the international Grand Prix supporting Porsche series, he wants to keep his reputation as top dog out there.
I'll tell you what, this will be clear by the time they come round next time, because it's quite a long lap behind the safety car. I reckon they could get going next lap.
There's John Ferguson, who is now caught just in Sherwood. Well, whatever heroics are going to come from John on a dry road, class positions are the target, and he is fourth in class, and that's the man that's third directly ahead of him. So if the track conditions permit, at least one place within the championship class should go his way.
Yeah, well, don't drive on the wet parts of the track, John. Stick on the dry parts, as you're the one on slicks. So that
1600 racer. So quite a few laps around here in North West Football Ford races. Everybody else going for the wet part of the road now as they come down towards his locks. It's going to be interesting to see who in these last few laps has looked after the tyres the best, isn't it?
Well, they'll all be in a perilous state. They're very soft sprint Michelin wet tyres with big blocks on them. They're fantastic tyres in the wet, but obviously we're running on a virtually dry track now, so they're going to just chew up very quickly. It really does feel like you've got jelly underneath you, not tyres. Lights are out.
Safety car in this time, and that means that at the end of lap 11 we will go back to racing. Josh Webster then gets everybody stacked up behind him. When does he accelerate away as they come down underneath the Bailey Bridge towards Lodge Corner? Does he go for it now? Yes, he does. He sprints away. Scott McKenna goes with Harry King, who is still there right on the back of Josh Webster then as we are set to go racing. It's going to be a frantic few lap dash, isn't it, up toward the end of the race. Out of Dearly they come. It is Webster versus King yet again in Carrera Cup GP. Green flags fly. We go racing. King looks to the inside line. Is he going to do it on the restart? He's up the inside line. Webster just ahead as they come off the corner. But again, Harry King serves intent, doesn't he?
Oh, he does indeed. I mean, you just knew he wouldn't have the grip, but nothing stops him trying. And Josh Webster kept his foot down round the outside, as he's fully entitled to do, but there was very narrowly avoided contact, and it would have been King that would have come off worse then. He would have been the one that spun, because all the weight on the Porsches on the rear, there's no weight on the front. He would have been past.
But did he get a tighter line coming through Island Bend then? The cars are about to come over Hilltop down to his locks, which is where he's had a couple of dramas already. Webster covers off the inside line. It's here with heavy braking that Harry has been in strife. No such dramas this time around, and he is staying glued to the back of Josh Webster's car. So can King do it? This is lap 12 of 15.
That's going to be very exciting. King's car looks like it's just done the RAC rally, doesn't it? There's so much mud on it. And poor old Jonathan Palmer's grass has taken a bit of a pounding this weekend.
Now King out of Druids, Josh Webster 4 tenths up, and Webster doing absolute best sectors on this lap. Sector 1, Sector 2, absolute best he commands. Harry King therefore not quite able to think about a move, but he's not dropping away by too much, is he? Then you've got the red line twins, third and fourth, McKenna ahead of Graham. It is Wiley fifth and Hannafin sixth as you look at Dorian Mansilla there, keeping at bay at number 10 of Will Martin, who had a spin earlier on. Leaders across the line, onto lap 13. Webster does the fastest lap of the race. Now Harry King has got 3 laps to go. He's running out of time and he's perhaps running out of options. Now he's really going to have to dig deep.
Yeah, and I saw Ferguson in the background charging his way through the traffic. What happens is under the safety car they were able to cool their tyres down a bit, so they get
That was McKenna glancing off that recticel barrier that has been put there and is doing whatever it does. Harry King to the outside again. He wants the undercut coming off the corner, but Josh Webster knows that and gets across and covers off the line.
I'm really not sure what that recticel barrier is there to achieve, really, other than being a hazard for everyone to avoid, and in these conditions it's not easy, so I do wonder really why it's there.
If anything else were there, it might even be called for as a safety car.
Exactly.
It's going to be a hazard.
Yeah.
Like you say, you've put a hazard there. Here's the replay. Look, Webster and King go through Cascades, but look at Scott McKenna third. He runs out wide and bang. an obstacle that doesn't need to be there gets hit. So it's damage to the car, could have serious consequences.
Yeah, and as you say, if that was a car stopped at the end of the track, it would be considered a hazard, and there'd be a safety car. You wouldn't put a hazard there. If it's to stop people using track limits, well, that's what the sensor's for. So I really don't know why it's there. Where's John Ferguson? Let's see if we can catch a glimpse of him at the back, coming through. He's shown behind Justin Sherwood, isn't he?
He got past Justin Sherwood a lap back, so he is making progress through the class. So right now, Harry King, another fastest lap. The gap first to second is 0.2 of a second. We've got 2 laps to go. And here he is for the inside line, down to Cascade. Harry King clashes up the inside of Josh Webster, but he has done it. Harry King goes through. Now, has he picked up damage there? Because they certainly rub. There's a little bit of smoke, bodywork against tyre. Can he survive to the end?
He may well be able to. It could just be a little rub on the tyre, but these wet tyres are very soft. It doesn't take much to cut them, and he's clearly got quite a bit of contact on the tyre there.
So he leads, but it's a smoky car thanks to the bodywork rubbing against the Michelin rubber. Down now towards his locks. So Josh Webster won't like the fact that he got mugged for the lead, won't like the fact that contact was involved, but he might now have a lifeline, which is possibly Harry King's tyre not lasting for another lap and a bit. Let's see as he heads up Clay Hill. The car looked muddy anyway. Now it's got smoke. It's kicking up the water still on the road as he goes for the wet part of the track. So Harry King has got a lap and a bit to go to try to hang on in there. John Ferguson is up to second in the AM class and could yet win it. Here's the move for the overall lead.
Yeah, good lunge up the inside. Apart from the contact, it was a really good manoeuvre. He got the car stopped, and it was just so close to Josh Webster on the line that they touched.
But look, once he's ahead, Harry King just storms away. So he's found a way through, and by the end of the lap, he's 0.7 of a second up. So the speed is always there.
Yeah, he has the speed. There is no question about that. And that was the fastest lap of the race on that last lap.
Despite the overtake, despite the contact, despite the bodywork against the tyre. So Harry King leads. He's going for 5 out of 6. Second is Josh Webster. Scott McKenna is third. And yet again, Harry King just sort of shrugs and gets on with it. He drives this car so well, sideways out of Island Bend, heading up over Hilltop now. So Harry King, another great effort. We keep saying what an exciting driver he is to watch. He never settles for position. Okay, maybe today was a little bit leery because of the conditions, but yeah, he just attacks all the time.
Yeah, he's made Porsche Carrera Cup racing really exciting this year.
He has. Long may it continue.
Because it can never ever be said that you can't overtake in a Carrera Cup car, because if they say that, just watch a few of Harry King's second races.
He'll be busy as a driver coach in the future for these cars, won't he? And this from 6th on the grid, remember. So he lost out most on that reversal, anything 4 to 6, and it was 6 that was pulled yesterday. So from the 3rd row of the grid to get the lead, a couple of laps from home, Harry King then comes now through the right-hander of Lodge Corner. The smoke is still evident, but it is win number 5 of the season for Harry King in Carrera Cup GB. Another outstanding drive. Josh Webster takes second. Third, Scott McKenna. Really good effort by Scott, who again is new to the cars this year. Matty Graham fourth, ahead of Ross Wiley and Lorcan Hannafin. Now there is Aaron Mason ahead of John Ferguson, who is about to blast up Dearly with damage. Look, it's a battle for position on the road, but they're in different classes. It's going to be a virtual dead heat between the two as they come across the line. Mason was ahead by 45 thousandths, but John Ferguson wins the AM class because he got ahead of Lee Frost on the last lap. So the slick finally worked, at least in the context of his class opposition. So John Ferguson wins the AM class, which is his main target, and Harry King wins outright yet again. We thought at Donington a star was born. We thought there was even more evidence at Brands Hatch, but after a drive like that, wow. When did they give him the trophy?
and let's remember, he has no car advantage. All these cars are the same, and he runs in the same team as Webster.
Absolutely.
So the setups, the data, everything will be shared between them. So he has no car advantage. It is down to pure talent.
And there's nothing cocky or arrogant about him. As I say, when you talk to Harry and say, why are you so good in meetings?